Okay, once again, it's Mr. Lincoln, and we are today trying to talk about doing columns and things like that in our Word documents. And we did an exercise in Word, and now I'm going to do similar stuff in Google Docs so that the people who do not have Word and can only use Google Docs can still do their homework. So let me go ahead and present my screen so that you guys can see what's going on with the document. Okay, so a lot of you have seen in books and things like that where there's two columns of text and you read all the way through one column of text and then you start back up at the top and read through the other column of text. Okay, and you might be saying to yourself, so that sounds like a really cool thing that I could do on this one document to make it look cool. And you would be right, but you don't know how to do it, so you're kind of screwed. Now, this is for those people who are using Google Docs. There is a way to do most of the stuff that we learned about in Google Docs. It's pretty simple and pretty easy. There is just a little bit of different stuff going on, different places to find it, things like that. So what you want to do is you want to click into this section right here, not here in the header section. This is a different section. You want to go down here to the other section, and we're going to put in columns on this one, which is not difficult at all. Just make sure you're clicked into the right section. Remember that these sections are, when you have section breaks, it's like one group can be changed to something different than the other group. Section breaks basically allow you to do formatting changes between one side, like one part of the document and another part of the document. So if you want to have like a title that's centered across the entire page, okay, you can't do that with two columns because then it'll try and just center on the left column instead of the right column. Okay, so what you end up having to do is one section, which is a one column all the way across the thing, and then you do a section break, and then you can do two columns for the rest of the document. So make sure, because they've done that here with the Word document, make sure that you are clicked somewhere in here, because it doesn't matter where, it's just it's a whole section formatting thing. So you click into that area, and the important things that you've got going on here for the most part is insert and format. That's where you're going to find a lot of your stuff. Sometimes you can occasionally find things in tools. Occasionally you can find something in the view, but for the most part, insert and format are where you're going to be looking for stuff. And as we can see, here in the format is where the columns go. So you go to format, you go to columns, and let's turn this into a two-column document. And you can see that it goes from one side to the other. Okay? All right. That is pretty simple and pretty easy stuff right there. One of the things that you can also do is to put in a setting of a column width, like how big do you want these words to be? How big do you want the space in between the words to be? Once again, you can go to columns, and then you can go to more options. You can say how many columns you want, and you can say how much spacing in between the columns. So just like with Word, you could basically say, like, I want the columns to be 2 inches, and you could set that, and it would automatically adjust the space in between, you know, based on, like, you know, how big the columns were, or vice versa. If you space the column, like, blank area, it would adjust the column word width to the certain amount, okay? But it was kind of like a zero-sum game. If you made the columns bigger, you know, then you know, the space in between would be shrunk. If you made the space in between bigger, then the column of words would be shrunk. Okay, so this one, it just basically says, how big do you want the space in the middle to be? And you could change that to 0.5, you can change it to 0.25. Okay, and also there's a checkbox here for a line between the columns, just like we had in Word. Apply that, and you can see that there's a much smaller space in between the words, and there's also a fancy line so that you don't accidentally keep reading into the other column. Okay. Super simple, super easy stuff, not very difficult at all. Now, column breaks. Let's say like you definitely need to have this zebra stuff on its own side here. Go in front of the zebra and go ahead and, once again, you are going to go to Insert this time because you need to put in a break, a section break, or a column break, okay? Once again, not just page breaks, section breaks and column breaks too. Now, if you want to make sure that the column stops at a certain point and goes over to the next column, that's a column break. Okay, and now you can see that the zebra section starts in the second column. And even though we have more space down here in the first column, it is not allowed to have anything else on that column. We must now go to here, and that was Insert break, column break. Okay, whoops, don't do it twice, sir. Okay, so now you can see, but let's say once again, just like we did in the Word document, you don't want to have these big breaks and spaces. You want to make sure that everything is even Steven across, and then you're going to start something else underneath it. So we're going to Control Z, get back to where we were, having the zebra on the same side. So if we want an equal amount of words on the left side and the right side, so that we can change back to doing like single column stuff, what we have to do is go to the end of our words here, and we're going to insert not a page break, not a column break, but a section break, a continuous section break. Continuous section break means that this is a section of words, okay? It's going to have different formatting than other things, either above it or below it. Okay, so the section break continuous gets added, and that means that instead of being like the whole page is my playground, only this section is my playground. And underneath it, now you can see I've got a new area underneath the original area. Now you may be saying to yourself, I see that we're still doing this two-column thing. I thought Mr. Lincoln said we could do some different stuff in a different area. You can change the format, go to columns, go to single column, or even 3 columns. Okay, and now you can see that I am working in a single column format. So above here, okay, you've got a single column format, which allows you to center across the title across the page. And below the to text area, you have returned it to a single column after the section break, which evens out stuff mostly. You've got a section here, which you've returned to the single column stuff. So now you can see you can switch back and forth. When you put in the continuous section breaks, you can switch back and forth between layouts and options and things like that, and they act as entirely separate pieces of document. Okay? All right. That is balancing columns. That's how you balance the columns out, by doing a continuous section break. Okay? That's pretty much all of the changes that are the things that you need to see in the Google document as far as making changes that were the same as the kind of stuff that we were talking about with Word documents today. So if you are using Google Docs, use these methods the same way that you would in a Word document. Okay, that's it for this supplementary Google Docs video. Sorry about my wild and crazy out of place hair today. All right, take it easy. Have a good day. We will get some assignments to you later on so that you can work on stuff. Bye-bye.